Hello, hi. I'm just gonna put my phone up on the holder here and see if that works. Is this the way that's gonna be backwards? Yes, this is the backwards way. Let me flip. This is the not backwards way. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. Hello and good morning. Let me bring me up on YouTube here so that I can adjust my settings a little bit. Good morning. All right. Oh, let me turn off the sound because I'm hearing myself an echo. And there's about a 3 or 4 second delay. Let's see how I need to adjust. See if that helps. Hey, that works kind of. Good morning. I'm going to be working on more cards that I started last week from the Sunny Studio Fall 2018 set. But first I need to cut some card bases because I'm out, I think. I was running kind of low on card bases before we moved, and I purposely didn't cut more because I didn't want to pack and bring them with me. Oops. We will just cut a couple more here. I do not bring my paper to Kinko's, first of all, because we don't have a Kinko's, but just try to trim expenses whenever I can and make my own card bases. And there's one that I just messed up on. The bottom didn't cut very well, which is not an issue for me. This is also, I'll use this particular paper. This is just Staples 110-pound white cardstock. I'll also color on this, so I'll just save these for coloring. So if I happen to mess up on cutting a card base, not a big deal. Not a big deal. The big trimmer out of the way so I can get started on my project. So far, I'm the only one here, and that's okay, but I thought, seeing as I did the first part, somebody might want to watch more. Either way, I was planning on working on these cards, so there you go. I just continually find that I need more and more cards. It's almost like there's never enough cards. Even though I do nothing but make cards all day long every day, I never have enough cards. I need a few different thank you cards, birthday cards, all sorts of cards that I need. So I just cut the two different ways. I just cut some A2 cards, and I'll score those as I need them. But I wanted to get the big trimmer out of the way. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Suzanne. How are you ladies today? So I've learned from my last live that I shouldn't go anywhere over an hour because then my phone will die. So I'm going to try to keep it to around just an hour. I need to clean my mat, which is quite dusty. Standing up to reach paper and paper towel and water. That's the sound change that you'll hear. Okay, so as I've said, going to be working on more Sunny Studios cards from their fall line that I started last week. I did the stamping and coloring, and I did do a significant amount of the coloring off camera once the video ended throughout the week. And then of course I die cut them as well. So all the coloring, the rest of the coloring and the die cut is done. I didn't think that anybody needed to see me die cut anything. Number one, my Cuttlebug is a piece of crap and on its way out. And number two, it's really boring and everybody's seen die cutting before. So these are the 3 stamp sets that I have. We have the Happy Harvest with this large tree and a couple of different sentiments. So now I'm going to be kind of trying to figure out which kinds of sentiments that I want to use. I have a list. Where did it go? I have a list off camera of the different people that I need to make cards for. So I'm just going to kind of sort my little pieces on my mat here. This is my card process. I'm an extremely slow card maker. Sometimes I make things just for the sake of making them without a plan, and the plan kind of just comes to me as I go. And in cases like this one, where I absolutely love these stamp sets, I had to have them without having any real plan. So. Good morning, Brandy. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I had such a blast with that Halloween card. We were going to see if we could find, I own the movie that set is inspired from, and we're going to try to watch it, and I know that we own it, and I don't know where it is. I know that we've unpacked it, I just don't know where it ended up. So we did like the lazy way of trying to watch the movie the other night. We looked on Netflix to see if it was on there, and it was not. We ended up watching Jurassic Park instead. Okay, so this is Happy Harvest. I'm not really sure which sentiment I want to use, if I want to use any from here or if I just want to use the pieces to accent something else. This next set is Home Sweet Gnome. These ones are adorable. I ended up taking a lot of the pieces after I colored them. I went in with my white gel pen and kind of added some little details later. I made his little hat plaid. It's the cutest thing ever. This one kind of came out like a little leprechaun. It makes me smile. It's so cute. This bird goes with, no, it does go with this set. I had the birds filed incorrectly. These birds go with this set here. And then another mushroom. So here is Home Sweet Gnome. And then of course I had all the coordinating die cuts. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yes, doing the dishes and typing is hard with wet hands. This last one is Fall Kiddos. I've tried to do that myself. I don't have, in our other house that we just moved from, the kitchen area and the living room area was like the main room of the house. And of course we have this ginormous television and it's a smart TV, so I can stream YouTube on it. So anything I was doing in the kitchen, I was able to pretty much watch what I wanted to watch on TV to have it keep me company. Here the kitchen is a completely separate room from the main room of the house, and I didn't even have music in the kitchen. Nothing to keep me company in the kitchen. And we just found, as we were packing to move, my ancient iPod. I have like a first generation iPod that my husband got me for, I don't know, birthday or my Christmas or something like 100 years ago. And we found it, and my husband hooked that up to a iPod player or whatever you call it in the kitchen, so I can finally listen to music. And here's the really funny part, is that it's all stuff that I downloaded from iTunes, or I put from my CDs onto iTunes so that I could put it onto my iPod, and it's all music I haven't heard in like 15 years. So I was mopping my floor yesterday morning listening to like 90s rap, 90s dance rap that I used to listen to when I was in college out dancing with my friends at the club. And it occurred to me after I was done mopping the floor that, my goodness, what do the neighbors think of me? I have no idea. It was a lot of fun. Anyway. Oh, your daughter's chore is supposed to be mopping, Brandy? Or the dishes? The dishes. My daughter just turned 10. She hasn't learned how to wash the dishes yet, but she has learned how to unload the dishwasher. We're working up to the washing the dishes. She's not very careful or gentle. Anyway, so here are the 3 stamp sets, and I'm going to take just a minute cross-referencing with my little list here to kind of look a little bit more at some of these sentiments to see if between the 3 sets I can kind of come up with some ideas to build cards for some of the occasions that I need. I need 2 thank you cards that I know for sure, and I'm not seeing a lot of thank you sentiments with this set. I see a May Our Lives Be Full of Thanks and Giving. I might find a way to use that one. I want to send a thank you card to our current landlord who's done a lot of work around the place. And I want to send a thank you card to my friend and his husband who helped us move when we moved a couple weeks ago. So those are the 2 thank you cards that I know that I need. They're just so cute. I can't even. So I might, for my friend, I might use this What's Up Know Me sentiment here because it just cracks me up and I know that he would enjoy it very much. And I might use that just for the thank you card. So let's focus on that a little bit. What's Up Know Me. Okay. Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm reading and stuff at the same time. So let's do like a gnome one for my friend Dan. There's just about 0 chance that he'll ever watch this. So. He is on Instagram though, so I wouldn't post photos of the card until after he's received it. Okay, so we've got a What's Up Know Me. And I don't know, I just washed this mat. I'm not really sure why I have a pet hair up here, but thanks so much, cats. And then maybe this one right here, the greetings, and then What's Up Know Me. It's kind of a cute little card idea. I wish that the greetings was in script though. Whatever. Okay. So we have a little bit of an idea. Sorry, I know that I'm an extremely slow card maker. This is why it takes me forever to do anything. Let's see. So I think that I want to build... I obviously want to use this pumpkin and some gnomes with this sentiment because it's just too cute. I did pull out some other things that I thought that I might need or want to use. So I'll just show you really quick what I have on the side of me. I pulled out anything that I had to do with anything fall or autumn. Obviously, I pulled out the 2 Sunny Studio paper packs that I have from the fall line, which are just awesome and fabulous. So I pulled those. I have from Echo Park, I have the A Beautiful Autumn by Lori Whitlock 6x6 paper pad that I thought I might use in some capacity. That stripe is really cute. And look at those little foxes. Super cute. And then, of course, I have the new, from Lawn Fawn, I have the Fall Nitpicky, which is not double-sided. I much prefer paper that is not double-sided. I often can't choose. And then I have this one isn't exactly fall per se, but it had a lot of fall colors in it, and I thought it might work. It's the Farmhouse from American Crafts. So it has some really nice, rich earth tones, beautiful oranges, and sort of burgundy colors. I thought this one might work for fall as well, so I pulled that one out. So that is what I pulled out for paper. And then I pulled out, oh, I had these right at the top. I just have these sort of brown little burlap bows, which I thought that I might use. So I grabbed those. I grabbed some die sets that I thought I might want to use. Some of them were sitting out anyway. I do not have a book of commonly used dies, although I would like to. I still have them on my little magnet pieces, but I have mountains and stitched rectangles. I have my favorite postage stamp. I have some trees, And I have my Lawn Fawn stitched hillside borders, which I pretty much pull out for every card ever. I pull out a couple of stencils that I thought might be fun to use. I have the new one from Hero Arts that I've shown you guys, the beautiful woodsy one, which I thought would look really nice with some of the mushrooms if we want to do some stenciling. And I also have this buffalo check stencil, buffalo plaid stencil that I picked up last year. I forget who makes it. I think it might be Echo Park who makes that stencil. And then I also pulled out my box of autumn embellishments. I don't know if you can see the way that the angle is. I have all of my different boxes of embellishments in my autumn one. Just is kind of where I'll just put anything seasonal in here. So I have like these really great enamel shapes, which are adorable. Actually, I should pull these out anyway, just to have on my desk. Autumn sticky notes. I've got some Halloween washi tape. Some different die cuts that friends have sent me that I might want to use. Oh, like this pumpkin one. Oh, look at this. This is really nice. This wreath right here, I might use this. And these pumpkins. We'll see. We'll see. I have some stickers. I have a planner clip, which I actually think that I made this one. And some more stickers. Some Halloween stuff, which is not particularly relevant at this exact moment, but you get the idea. So anything that I get kind of fall, I put in this bucket here. And I grab that just in case there's anything I might want to use. May our lives be full of thanks and giving, if you need a thanks in it. Yeah, I saw that one. I'm not sure. That one might be more appropriate for our landlord than my friend Dan. I thought he might really enjoy the What's Up Nomi for the gnome one. May our lives be full of thanks and giving. Oh, how about this? How about may our lives be full of thanks and giving, and then autumn blessings? Or just warm wishes maybe underneath it? That might be nice for the other one. That's a good idea. Thank you, Brandy. Okay, so we have may our lives be full of thanks and giving. Let's just leave it at that for now, because I might change my mind. Okay, so we have two sentiments for the 2 thank you cards that I need. Okay, for gnomes, of course we need to have this. We need to have some gnomes. Look, there I am. This one looks like Santa, doesn't he? I didn't mean to color him that way, but we've got Santa and we've got a leprechaun. And maybe this little guy here. And we put maybe some mountains in the background. And a big mushroom right here. And then the sentiment. Which orientation am I going to have in the card? That depends on how full I'm going to fill it. Let's see if we're going to do this orientation. That looks good. And then I can write my personal note on the inside of the card. Another pet hair. What is going on? I swear I just cleaned this desk. Okay, so that's kind of cute. And then we put some background stuff on there. That might be fun. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Have a good day. Good luck at your appointment. May our lives be full of thanks and giving. So what's Thanksgiving? What's Thanksgiving-y that we have here? Let's see. Obviously, we need to use this tree because this tree just can't be unused. Let's see. Just experimenting with the size. We need to have this tree. Let's see. Let's have a couple. What are they called? Sunflowers. Gotta have some sunflowers. Oh, I do have a child with a pumpkin. Here, let's have a pumpkin here. Let's have another little one. How about this? No, I don't know. Which other child? Yeah, maybe this one here. Let's try her because they're both wearing scarves. And maybe we can have a couple leaves around her. Because this little girl is kneeling, so maybe, I should, I'm really sorry, the positioning. I was caught up in what I was doing and I was not paying attention to the screen. I wasn't aware that you guys couldn't see what I was doing. I'm sorry. So this little girl is kneeling here. So maybe I'll have her be kneeling in the pile of leaves. Okay, that's cool. And now I just make backgrounds for them. Cool beans. Let's get these things pushed aside. And I will use those on other cards. Backgrounds, paper piece, color blending. What are we going to do here? Let's think. Let's do paper piecing and use some of these new colors, which are amazing. I really want to use the Sunny Studio papers because they're too cute. And I love how they're not glued together because I'm such a dork. All right, let's get a piece for the grass. Let's use a nice bright green for the grass. Is this blue too dark for a sky, or should I grab a different paper? Ooh, or we can ink blend a nice sunset, I think. Maybe we'll do that. And then let's find a page. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you can hear that knocking. I have a naughty bunny rabbit underneath my desk who's chewing on a box that I have stored underneath here. Gosh, I wonder who that could be. This looks like a nice one for matting. This pretty rainbow paper on one card, and then I like the polka dots for the other. Okay. That is basically my card process, is I move stuff around and kind of see how I like it, where it should go. I'm going to, just off camera here, because I don't want to move stuff out of the way, I'm going to cut my matting for my cards. Cut things down to size. Observe this little naughty rabbit. What are you doing? I will save these little tiny pieces and I'll put them back into the cellophane wrapper with the rest of the paper. Okay. Hello, bunny rabbit. We can hear you. So we need to get out some inks. We need some inks. So let's get some Distress Oxide inks up in here. What do we want? I want a nice, I think, yellow sky. I think that would look nice. So let's grab, I have to stand up because the inks are over my head. Let's do Wild Honey. We'll do a smidgen of Abandoned Coral. That might be enough. But let's grab a little Squeeze Lemonade in case we need to really lighten it up. I keep my clean ink foams in this plastic bag. Or I do now. I didn't used to. I used to keep them in a box, and I broke the box. Okay. So that one we may not need. We've got wild honey. We've got some abandoned coral. That is not the right thing. I was going to just tell you that I was planning to use Bristol paper for blending, but that is not Bristol paper that I just had in my hand. Where is my Bristol paper? I don't know. I'm not going to waste your time trying to find it. I'll just grab another piece and cut it up. I keep the packs of paper underneath my desk. And I'll be using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth. Just going to grab a piece of that. I have a bunch that's already all cut up and ready to go, and that's what I was just looking for that I can't find, so it'll show up eventually. I'm still adjusting and getting used to this workspace, and a lot of it is still a mess. Alright, let's cut some. Now I'm just cutting the Bristol down to size, the size that I need. Unless you mess up. You know, because I totally never do that. There's one. Yeah, and I guess that's the pressure with being live. Is that if you mess up, people see you mess up. That never occurred to me until I just did that. Okay, so I have two smaller pieces here. Let me just make sure they're the right size. I like to be able to see my pretty backgrounds, so yeah, I need to trim this up a little bit more. Yes, Teresa, my mail will get to me that way. My last name is Huffman, though, Huffman, if that's easier. Easier for you. They know who I am. I'm a post office staple anyway, and now our apartment building is literally right next to, I need to trim this a little bit more. It's literally right next to the post office, so now I would just walk there every day almost. That's how exciting my life is. Alright, let's see how that works. Okay, that's better. That's a good size for matting, and you can still see the little pattern in the back. Did I not cut the size right? Yeah, I don't think I cut that size right. Was this I did want to use with matting, right? Now I don't even remember. I was pretty sure that's what I wanted to do with it. Whatever, I'll just cut another one. I cut the wrong size. We used to have, a lot of our packages used to come right to the house. And now our apartment building is not signed up to get mail, so our packages will have to start coming to the post office. How did I mess that up? You know what? I like it. I'm just going to trim these other edges just a little bit more. I like it. Basically, I'm just thinking in my head I'll be making a much smaller scene than I had originally planned. Let's see if that works. Sorry this is taking so long. I think that the talking is throwing off my thinking. Yeah, that's good. I'm not very good at math, so trying to figure out how I wanted to frame something. Math and I, never good friends. All right, so let's do a blending. I'm going to start with the abandoned coral on the bottom, and first I'm going to stick my thumb right in there, because if this wasn't messy enough, let's just make it super messy. I've just recently started using Bristol paper for Distress Oxide blending. If you have not had a chance to do that yet, I highly recommend it. I was definitely one of those people like, oh, my paper works fine and I'm not spending any money on something extra or whatever. Totally worth it. Invest in some Bristol paper. Especially if you do oxide ink blending. This goes on so smooth, and I love, oh, I didn't grab an extra one. I love really thick layers of oxide. So this is perfect. Yeah, I definitely need to lighten this up. So we definitely need the squeezed lemonade. Oh my god, I stuck my finger in it again. I'm seriously deficient. Not enough coffee today. I blame that. I did not sleep well at all. I've been having a lot of issues with my upper back. I have scoliosis. I've been having a lot of issues with that part of my back, and I just could not sleep very well at all. So I got up much earlier than I would normally like to. This paper is so great. I don't know if you saw, I accidentally caught some of the abandoned coral in that, and I just kind of blended it right out. Totally worth it. Bristol Smooth paper. I love this color combination. It's probably one of my favorites. Just a little bit more honey in there. Wild honey. Oops, bringing it down. And I think it's going to look really nice with this green that I've selected. Just get these out of the way and I'll clean it up later. I'll clean it up later. So do you know what else is on Netflix that I just watched the other day? Steel Magnolias. It was totally amazing. And then my husband came home and we noticed that they had The Breakfast Club. And we watched most of that as well. I love it when Netflix gets good movies. I have a ton, an embarrassingly huge amount of 12 by 12 paper, and I've been trying to use it up, and I just don't want to. It's not anywhere near as fun, and I don't like it anywhere near as much as I like the 12 by 12 packs. Yay, another Breakfast Club fan. What's his name? Judd Nelson? Oh my god. All those years later, I'm telling you, I still had a crush on him again by the end of the movie. Even though with my my almost 39 years of wisdom of the of life and more experiences with the male species, absolutely knowing that, hey, this is not a very good boyfriend material type person, but nope, still had a major crush on him by the end of the movie. Which is fine, because apparently my husband is an Ali Sheedy fan, so we're both sitting here and reminiscing. I'm just cleaning my hands a little bit with a baby wipe. I have these crappy baby wipes. I don't remember where I got them. Mom to Mom baby wipes. I don't care for them. They were in my car for the longest time. I'm just trying to use them up. Mostly I just use them on my hands or to dust off my Cricut. Hey, anybody have a Cricut and buy a cover for your Cricut? I'm having the hardest time finding one that I like. There are a ton on Etsy, but how can this don't be dirty? Let me know if you found a good cover for your Cricut. Okay, so I have my background. I need to get my Cuttlebug out, and we need to make some backgrounds. And I just realized that I just inked the wrong orientation for that second card. No problem, I'll just change it. Last minute design change. Okay, I'm grabbing my Cuttlebug, which I keep over here. This is my little basket of Cuttlebug trays. So I'm going to grab those. What is going on here? Okay, let me get that set aside. Let's do a ground. So for that, I like my my standard, just stitched border here for the hillside. I have it on backwards. Not sure what I was doing when I put this away. All right, there we go. I do have a stamp chamois. I love it. It gets stained, and it's just going to be stained, and here it is. It's dry right now, so it's just it'll stain. What I do is, like, every night, if I've used it, I'll take it into the kitchen and I'll give it a good rinse with just some dish soap and hot water, and you can kind of squeeze some of the excess ink out, but it will stain. I've been thinking about replacing mine because I've got a rip in it, which is a little bit irritating. But I've had this for a really long time. It's totally worth it. I don't like those, I have one and I forget what it's called, but those stamp cleaning pads with a little faux wool in it that you scrape the stamp in to get it cleaned out. I didn't like mine. The cleaner that you use for it is stinky. I didn't care for it. Didn't care for it. Alright, so I'm making some grounds. Making a little hillside. Here's one. Here's two. This is also something that I would do with the Cricut. If I wanted to turn on the Cricut, I could just very quickly make a couple of different hillsides. But the Cricut's not on, and I would have to move like everything off of the desk in order to get the Cricut out, and I'm just not in the position to do that, especially when live here. I don't have time for that. Let us see how this looks, and then we'll see if we need to make some trees or something to kind of pull the designs together. And again, I have a last minute design change because on this one I inked a background for the other orientation, and I'm too lazy to go back and change that now because I've already washed the Distress Oxide ink off my mat here. If I wasn't live, I probably would do that, but I don't want to take your time. Take your time. It would take forever. Oh, Brandy, I'm glad you said that. I actually was talking about the stamp chamois last week, and I had asked if anybody had ever done that and if it was comparable, but I'm really pleased to see that somebody's actually tried it. Is it the same quality? I'm really looking for a new die cutter. I would really like the Gemini. I like the electronic. Both of my shoulders are just crap. I like the idea of having something that just does it for me. Okay, so I think that looks really nice, the colors together. Just getting my Cuttlebug out of the way. This green paper is just this gorgeous, like emeralds. Gorgeous emerald. Let's get those attached and then see what we're working with here. And I didn't plan it that way, but look at how nice the Distress Oxide colors kind of go with the different papers that I picked out for matting. I'm trying to use up some tape that I'm not thrilled with. Oh wait, that's not this one though. Oh, rabbit! No, honey. Daisy just came underneath my desk and knocked over my trash barrel because she likes to eat paper scraps out of it. Here it is. Daisy, no. Adventures in Bunny Rabbitness. Oh, maybe I used them both up already. Go over there. Scoot along. Sometimes I find products that I think are subpar, like tape or glue or whatever, and I don't plan to buy it again, but it's not that bad that I can't use it up. So I'll save it and use it for my personal projects as opposed to like cards that I make for my Etsy shop. So I thought that I had some tape left over that I wanted to use up, but apparently I don't, which is fine. But that's what I was just doing. And I used my Cricut weeder to pull the backing off of the double-sided tape. I don't use it for weeding anything. I don't use my Cricut much for vinyl. Working with vinyl or anything that I would have to weed. I don't like working with vinyl. So let's see. Hi Marlena, good morning. Don't mind me, I'm just, you know, messing up cards and talking. I'm here to make everyone else feel better about their skills. Just cut the backs off here. I found my good scissors. I do need to get them refinished or refurbished, or what do you call that? There's a service where you can send your scissors in and they sand off all the rust and they make them like new again. I'd love to do that. It's not cheap though. Okay, so here we have the start of my 2 cards here. Let's build them. The Absorber. Oh, that's a huge size. You could get a ton of different stamp chamois out of that. Gosh, if you had crafty friends, you could send pieces to everyone. About how much does the Absorber cost? Oh, thank you, Marlene. They may eventually come out nice, but it's nothing but one big catastrophe after another. I seem to be struggling today with keeping my brain straight while talking. I'm making a lot of very silly mistakes because I'm busy talking and not really paying attention. $8.99, that's an amazing deal. Because I think the stamp chamois from Lon Juan is like $7 or $8. That's a really good deal. I'll have to put it on, if I remember, put it on my shopping list to look when I'm next at Walmart. We'll see, maybe if I can grab a stamp chamois, we'll cut it into a bunch of pieces and send pieces out to friends. Is that a manual Big Shot, Teresa? I wouldn't mind something a little, I mean, aside from the fact that it's losing a lot of pressure and I have a hard time cutting some dies, especially the more intricate ones. I wouldn't mind a larger cutting surface, which is what kind of the appeal is for the Gemini for me, anyway. Hello, Bunny Rabbit. An upgrade in die cut machine is one of those things that it's the farthest back of the priority list right now, though. It's such a bummer. We are really going to keep a pretty tight budget this month. We have well, you guys know my husband started a new job, so we're essentially going to be missing a paycheck this month as there's a delay in between his last paycheck from his former job and the job he has now. It's a 2-week pay period, so we're essentially going to be without a paycheck, and this is already a pretty strapped month for us with just moving and having to re-register my car and do all those things. Yeah, so there's no fun spending this month at all. I actually felt bad about, I had to reorder cat litter from Chewy, and I felt bad about spending the money, but having cat litter is much better than not having cat litter, I'm sure you'll agree. Okay, so let's kind of have a look again, now that our backgrounds are done, at what we want to do here. I don't know if I should maybe make some trees to put in the background. I do like this particular mushroom. It's really cute. I don't know, what if I have a big tree. We could do a couple of trees in the background, I think, on this one. And then maybe we'll just prop these ones up with some foam to give them some dimension and some separation from the trees. And then this one is a big tree right here. So this card is a bit smaller than originally intended, and I'll still do, they're in a pile right here. I'll still do the leaves around her and maybe the pumpkin here. And another pumpkin here. And then, let's see, a couple of sunflowers in the back, and then I'll prop the children up with some foam to give them some dimension, maybe. Or just him. Let me try the other way around. I think that's what I might want to do. Her, and then some sunflowers behind him, and then prop him up. Let me find my foam. Marlena, where are you again, honey? I know you told me, and I've shipped stuff to you before, but I don't happen to have that in front of me. Is anyone in the way of the hurricane stuff? We're up in New Hampshire here. We haven't really been hit by anything except we're told to expect lots of rain and maybe some flooding in lower areas. We're up pretty high though. I'm in a mountain region. Having a sip of coffee. I have my Beavis and Butthead mug. Yeah, Brandy, so we're pretty much in the same boat. I'm really happy that my husband found this job, and he seems to be liking it a lot. He was just so miserable in his other job. And I'm hesitant to say exactly what company he worked for and what he works for now, because this is the internet. But he's a retail manager, and he was working in a large chain of rent-to-own furniture. He was a store manager for furniture and appliances, electronics and stuff. He's been doing it for about 20 years on and off, and just absolutely hated it. Not a good, he's not a big fan of the company anyway, and just the job is just too much. And he was working 60, 70-hour weeks and commuting, not getting home till 10 o'clock at night. And of course he's salary, so he was not making anything anyway. I'm going to get these onto the card bases before I start gluing stuff to it. As I've learned, if I have foam on it and then trying to attach it to a card base is like kiss of death. So so that's what I'm going to be doing while I'm rambling on here. Where did I have, what's right here? There's the sentiment. Let me get my scoreboard really quick. Anyway, so now he's left that job, and he's working in entry-level retail management for a very large chain of stores, home goods stores. and he has already, and he's not salary, so first of all. So that's actually a good thing because it means if they make him work 60 to 70-hour weeks, they're paying him to do that. So that is really cool, and not something that we're not accustomed to, that kind of extra money coming in. Like, not this week, but next week he's scheduled to work 50 hours a week, so they have to pay him that overtime, and they know it, and we're like, sweet, that'll pay half of our rent, just awesome. And he just seems to like it a lot more. He says that he's crazy busy, because whenever he doesn't have an office, so he's on the sales floor constantly, and so constantly being grabbed by customers and stuff. But he says that he wants it a lot more. So it's actually interesting. He's enjoying it. Okay. Why did this happen? What is wrong with me? Okay. Let us get these things on the cards. Yeah, overtime is amazing. Especially when you're struggling. So kind of the way I see it is that we're going to have a couple more weeks of just not missing that paycheck and kind of struggling a little bit. I don't want you guys to worry or anything. We will be able to pay rent. I'm just not sure if we're going to be able to pay all of the bills on time. Some of the bills might be a little bit late. Certainly not more than, a week late. So I don't think that it's going to... We'll probably have to pay some late fees, but I don't think it's going to affect our credit or whatever, as long as, credit card bills are paid within 30 days. But we might have to pay a couple of things late. But we'll get through it. And then once we get through it, hopefully he actually has some growth in his paychecks, which is really neat. And not something that we're accustomed to, because again, he's been salary for so long. And even, and this is most unusual because he did come from a different retail manager type position, and I'm sure, everybody's worked a retail position in their life before, but they kind of, like, overtime is the kiss of death. Like, nobody is ever allowed to have overtime. You have to have 8 managers, and, like, the president of the company say that it's okay to work an hour overtime. I know that one company I used to work for, you had to clock in, like, you couldn't clock in at 8 o'clock, you couldn't clock in even at, like, 7:59 if your shift started at 8, because you weren't allowed to have that minute of overtime. Like, really crazy. So being told by a company like, hey, yeah, no, we have it in our budget that managers get, so and so amount of overtime every year or whatever, we're way behind, so no problem, you can work an extra 10 hours a week or whatever. It's like, oh my god, really? I don't know, a couple of weeks of, or I should say a couple of months of working as much overtime as he can take, we're probably going to end up paying off quite a lot of our debt. We're doing the Dave Ramsey Total Money Makeover. Okay, so I got the card bases on. This one, this way. Yeah, we've had to do that, Marlena. Just, I'm actually... was really upset. I forgot that the company that we have now for internet takes the money out automatically, because I was going to pay them like, a week late, and I was like, shit, now like $70 something, less than I was hoping on to live on for the week. But we're okay. It's already Tuesday, and he gets his last paycheck this upcoming Friday, so we're going to be okay until then. And I did have a friend that actually owed us a little bit of money, and I did pre-warn her a couple weeks ago, just looking at the budget, this was going to happen. If there's any way that you can pay us back before, this date, it's going to be really helpful. And she totally did that, so I'm very grateful. So we have a little bit of extra beyond what we thought. Okay, so I wanted to put, let me get my glue, these in the background. How, what kind of forgiveness do they have at the electric company? I think in some areas, if you have children in the house, they can't just cut it, can they? Don't they have to give you warning or whatnot? I've never had, I've certainly over the years received my share of disconnect notices, but I don't think we've ever had our power actually shut. But they usually like don't even really start hounding us here for it anyway until you're a month late. My glue is spitting, a little bit unusual, and it's still doing it. How can they do that? That's ugh. It's so expensive to live, guys. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't show you. I just got my first electric bill for this place, and this is the 18th, so we've only lived here for 17 days. Oh, they cut the bill on the 11th, so at that point we'd only lived here for 11 days, and our bill is $53 for the electric for 11 days. Like, are you kidding me? We just moved in. And I still have like a $200 outstanding balance from the electric company from the house that we just moved out of. Which, of course, isn't due until the end of October, so I'm not super worried about that quite yet. By then, hopefully, everything will be back in order. It's just a couple of weeks of fingers crossed and penny pinching, and hopefully things will get back online for us. Oh, Brandy, I'm so sorry. That's so hard when your kids are accustomed to something and you can't. We told Leah this year she really wanted to do band this year, and we just told her no. After reading some of the paperwork, and it wasn't just about the money because she also does a lot of other extracurriculars, so I was a little bit worried about her time and making sure that she still has time to be home and to play, and not every afternoon was spoken for with extracurriculars, but I was looking at the contracts that they have for renting the musical equipment through the school band, and it would have worked out to be like $2,300 a year or something. I'm not paying or it's like $90 a month for the equipment, and then it's like $14 a month or whatever for the insurance, and just I'm not paying that. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty laid back about stuff like that when it comes to my daughter. I don't mind. I do the sports things and all those, but like it's just too much money. We just can't swing that this year. We just moved. Too much. Mommy can't do it. These little characters are so cute. I just can't even, guys. This card is coming together and they're so cute. Oh, that's nice, Brandy, that they do that. I don't know if our current electric company is generous like that, but our former one, the one that we just left, is certainly not. I even asked once, one winter, where we were just completely broke and spending a fortune just trying to keep the electric heaters going so that our kid didn't freeze to death, and just saying, do you give any kind of discount or whatever to struggling families that have to use the electric for their heat or whatever? And they're like, no, we don't do that. This little girl, this image, she's kneeling, so I had it kind of in my head that she was kneeling in a pile of leaves. And it's a great way to use up some of these leaf images that I always get so nervous with the small pieces. I like to build scenes, so in my head, I'm telling a story about the card, and it doesn't. I just kind of don't necessarily expect anybody else to get what I'm doing. So let's see. We can have this pumpkin. I don't know, a pumpkin in the back maybe, and then the little boy in the front. And I'll prop him up with foam tape. Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm also trying to read and keep up with your comments. You guys are so chatty this morning. I think I do have to go pretty soon. I need to see what my power is on my phone. Excuse my reach for just a second. No. Sorry. I've been going for about an hour, so my phone is probably going to die at some point. I don't know if I can get it plugged in and leave it suspended up here. Sorry about my fingers in the way. I don't know if that would actually work, but I'll try. I'm trying to see if I can get my phone cord to plug in through one of the holes here in the widget that holds my phone. Let's see. Did that work? Maybe? It's so expensive to live, guys, and it breaks my heart reading about everybody else just trying to survive. It cost us $700 a month last winter to heat our house. Just, who can do that? I mean, we did it because we didn't have a choice, but... And you wonder why there's so much, like, credit card debt, and like us, that's where we got in trouble with our credit cards. Did we take, expensive vacations and do cool stuff? No. We have credit card debt because we had to put the propane one winter on it, and then because we didn't have any savings, we had to put the car repairs on it, and so on and so forth. And people just trying to survive. Everything goes up but people's pay. Brandy, I don't really. Last week was the very first time that I ever went live, and it was just more of a, I wonder what this button does kind of thing. So, alright, so here's this one, minus the sentiment, of course. This one is so adorable. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm the most amazing person on earth right now. Let's build the other one, and then we'll put some sentiments on here. I don't think that I have a schedule. I will try to at least once a week pop up and do this because I think it's fun, and I like to get to know people better than you can just through a comment section. You can have an actual conversation. Bye, Teresa. Good luck cleaning. I did my floors yesterday. Naturally, it doesn't look like anything happened today. Yeah, it's nice chatting with people. I'm a talker. On this one, I think I wanted to cut some little trees from the background. So let's get this back out of the way. That's what I meant to do. Okay, let's see what we can do. Do I have on the back of any of these scraps? None of them are brown. Let me grab a piece of brown paper. Oh, do you know? No, that's not going to work. Don't mind me. Let me grab a little piece of brown paper here. I want to make the trees with the print as well, but I wanted a nice brown to use for the tree trunk. Here's a nice brown. Let's use this one. Okay. Let's cut it up. That is the worst cutting job in the whole world. Okay. So I just want a couple of trees. Ooh, what kind of trees do I want? I think I want this kind of tree. A couple of trees. couple of tree trunks. Let's run it through and see what we got. Oh my god, 7 chihuahuas? Whew. I have a girlfriend who like thinks she's a breeder or whatever, and she tries to breed dogs and then sell them. She always has a wide variety of puppies hanging around, and she posts pictures on Facebook. I don't know much about them. I'm not much of a dog person. I like cats. And rabbits, obviously, except for this naughty one that's underneath my feet eating paper out of the trash barrel she tipped over. That I'm really trying to pretend isn't happening right now. So that I don't take your time to go clean it up. Yeah. That's what it's like having a bunny rabbit. Okay. I think it looks cute with using the pattern paper. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. Actually, I'm just working on my placement. And then prop the little gnomes up. That looks cute. And I like, on this one, there's all this space up on the top for a sentiment. Oh, thank you, Brandy. A degree in zoology, that's impressive. I can't have any more kids either. It's really sad. I have a girlfriend who just announced her 5th pregnancy. She's almost 40, and it's like, really? No fair. And then another one had a baby like 6 months ago that already had a bunch of other children. It's sad. I think my daughter would have been an awesome older sister. She loves little kids. What are you doing? Oh my god. She's rolled the trash barrel. Now it's behind me. And she's, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to pull out the vacuum after. Okay. And then we want to get these little guys propped up with a bit of foam. And then we'll work on the sentiments. It's taken me well over an hour to get to this point. What is going on? Ugh. My internet is being fickle. Sorry. I suppose that I will eventually get used to it, but it is very sort of not off-putting, but sort of very weird to be watching yourself while working. I do think that if I had the arm that is holding up the phone is it's a bendable thing, but it's a very stiff bend. It's quite hard for me to do it with my lack of arm strength. So my husband's been doing it for me, but I think if we can bring this whole thing maybe just an inch this way, it'll be a little bit easier for me when trying to film. I keep losing my my perspective, if you will, where I'm not sure if something's on the screen or not. Okay, so cute little guys going up. Maybe. These are the foam squares from Joann's, the Ms. Sparkle and Company little foam squares. They're really hard to get the paper off of sometimes. Okay, there we go. All right. So I've got this little one here. I'm not sure where to place her. Tentatively right there. And then this guy right here, whom I love. Look at that. Super cute. So we'll get a sentiment up here as well. We've got the What's Up Nomi and the greetings. I wonder if I have a larger... I'm going to get up for a second. Excuse me for a minute. I'm grabbing another thing of stamps to see if I have a larger thing that I might want to use. Something else. I've grabbed my bucket of lawn fawn. I got my lawn fawn bucket here. I'm going to go through here and see. Really quick flip through. Flip through and see. Gosh, it's almost noon. It's almost lunchtime for me. Cool. I'm glad that you like the Happy Hunting set, Marlena. I'm not supposed to say, oh look, here's a nice little thanks sentiment. I'm not supposed to say what inspired, so. So here's another one that just says so thankful. Actually, I bought this set used. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I need to pull this out. I want to work with this one. Maybe we'll work with this one the next time I can go live. Just in a fall card mood. And look what else. I really want to use those too. There's so many things that I want to do. I love lawn fawn. It's made, the Happy Haunting stamp set, Brandy, is made by Kindred Stamps. And if you look on my channel, I just released a video earlier this week showcasing the set, and I have a card process video as well using it. And I have all in that video. I have the links in the description down below. I recently became an affiliate for Kindred Stamps, so if you buy the stamp set using my link, they give me a little bit of, I don't know if I haven't actually sold anything through the affiliate link yet. It's a brand new thing. I'm not sure if they actually like pay you a commission or if they just give you rewards points on a future purchase. I'm not sure. I will say, however, that it is a small business. One woman owns the business. Her name is Audra Bolster. She's a very nice woman. So if you buy from her, you will be supporting a small business. And I absolutely love to try to do that whenever I can, but she's a really, really small business and a very nice person and very generous. And I do have in that video as well, I have the links down below to her fan club Facebook page. So join that. She does a lot of giveaways and stuff like that. which is how I ended up with the whole release, is that I won it in a giveaway. So definitely join. Join and do those things. So I think I'm going to use this, maybe not. No, you know what? I think I like it the way that I have it. And then I'll just write my, maybe I'll put this on the inside. I'll just write my stuff. Crippling indecision is what I have, guys. Crippling indecision. Okay. How do we want to do these sentiments? Do we want to put them on heat embossed on a strip of paper? I could put them inside the card. Let me think. Oh, it's too bad I did that. It would have been neat to heat emboss right on this green here. Let's see, what else do we have for scraps? I've got this piece of blue. We could heat emboss the sentiment. I don't know if this will fit on this scrap of blue. Just barely fit. No, not quite. On this scrap. Here's a bigger scrap that's pink. Does that look okay? That pink with that rainbow background? I think it's the same color pink. We can kind of have that, and then the blue right here. Or maybe reverse it. I don't know. Yeah, you've been a long time viewer of mine, Marlena. We're really close. I just noticed the other day, we're really close to our 400 subscriber giveaway. And if I can remember what tote I have it in, I can give you guys a little sneak peek. What the giveaway is. I keep tossing things in there. Let me see if I can find it. Everything is still just, I don't want to say disorganized, but things are still not where I prefer them to be, and I keep changing my mind. So for my 400 subscriber giveaway, I have a couple of things so far. I think that's what I had. So we have the ink pad. I have a couple of small little stamps. And of course, not really part of the giveaway, but pretty much everybody that gets a Happy Mail from me gets a Gender Bender soap. This is a charcoal soap, which is great for cleaning your fingers after you've just been inking. It smells kind of weird though. And then I have this die set. I grabbed one for me too. This is a really cool die set from Cuttlebug, Stars and Hearts. And I have some planner tape and just some coasters for paper crafting things. So pretty much whenever I keep everything in a little bin, and then when I get something for the giveaway, I just whoop, pop it in there. So we're really close to getting ready for the 400 subscriber giveaway. I have to pick this up. It's driving me nuts. Driving me nuts. Okay. I do try to be organized. I have a hard time resting if I'm not organized. So, all right. So what color? I think we want to heat emboss. What color do we want to heat emboss with? I think that a nice just white would show up on those fine. I think. Let me just check. White. I'm reaching for my white embossing powder, which is on the toppity top shelf. And may have to be changed around. That's kind of what I mean about, like, I'm set up, but I'm not set up. I keep having to adjust. The stamp platform all stay on their side here. I have a little cart, and then in between my cart and my desk is where those have been stored lately. Just on their sides. Oh, I need to find my Versamark. I now have 2 open Versamark pads because I keep misplacing one or the other. Where on earth did I put it? There it is. I can see one of them at least. Okay. So let's grab the Versamark. Oh, you have the Lawn Fawn costume party? Oh my goodness. I'm super excited to get working with that one. I keep going back. I'm not sure if I want to do Halloween, if I want to do Thanksgiving. I also have a bunch of other cards that I need to make. Why am I bringing this card over? A bunch of cards that I need to make for other occasions. My mother's birthday is this month. I can never decide. There's too much to do when there's not enough time. Okay. This What's Up Nomi is so cute. Oh, I've got to grab a coffee filter. Here we go. The orientation of my work area is all wrong as well. I'm used to my major storage stuff being on the left, but now it's on the right, so it feels weird still. I'm very sure that I will get used to it eventually. It's just very weird. This is a new ink pad, Versamark pad, because I couldn't find my other one, so I had to open up a new one. And I don't have a spot over here for my heat tool yet. And that's not necessarily because I don't have space, it's just I don't have a space to have one safely yet. Our rabbit, in addition to enjoying delicious paper out of my trash, also likes to eat wires. So I don't have a place to keep my heat tool plugged in and stored on my desk that keeps the wire away from within her reach. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those little silicone cup holder things that you can get at Michael's, and have one of those and just attach it to the side of my desk, and I'll put it in there. So I'm going to get these inked up and put the heat embossing powder on them, and then I'm going to step away off screen because my heat tool is plugged in over there. And I will just quickly heat emboss these. I'm assuming that nobody needs to see me actually heat emboss. Even if you've never done it, I'm sure that everybody has seen it happen before. These papers are so pretty. These gorgeous jewel tones. Alright, so let me get tidied up a little bit. Clean as you go. I have the same motto when I cook. Speaking of which, it's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday! Alright, my stamp chamois is not wet. This will have to do. Some of the crappy baby wipes. Okay. I'll be right back. You'll be able to hear me because it's just off camera over here on this side of my desk. I used the Doris heat tool. It was about $15 100 years ago. I've never had any issues with it. There's one. And two. While I'm standing, I'll grab my little cutter. Have another sip of coffee. I had a really hard time heat embossing at first, and I learned the hard way not to cheap out on some things. I was using just really inexpensive, low quality ink and embossing powder that was not very good quality, and I was having terrible results. I knew that like Versamark existed. I knew all these other brands and things existed. I just didn't want to spend the money on them because I didn't think that it was worth it, or didn't know if it was going to be worth it yet or not, and I didn't want to spend the money. And I ended up having to just buy market get rid of them and then just buy the better ones from the beginning. So I ended up actually spending more money in the end. So that was definitely one area where I would say make sure that you were obtaining the best quality materials that you can. The heat tool, the only inexpensive one that I have experience with is the Darice one, and that one's just fine. I'd recommend that. But definitely you want Versamark or another comparable quality brand. Don't go with, what was it called? The Whispers. Actually, I still have some of the black left. I'll show you the first brand that I tried to use. This Whispers embossing powder I grabbed. It was very inexpensive. I think it was from Consumer Crafts, and it just does not emboss very well. It was not worth it. But for like $1 more, you can get a container of the actual good stuff. I was just being cheap and wanted to cut expenses wherever I could. No. And then as soon as I got myself some real nice powder and actual Versamark ink, it was like night and day. I haven't tried any of the Brutus Monroe's embossing powder. I'd like to when I have a shopping budget again. Well, I shouldn't say all of it because my Etsy shop has been closed, so I'm not making any money right now, but in theory, all of my Etsy money, if I happen to make any, would be going towards household stuff right now and not my shopping expenses. Okay. Thank you, little trimmer. Oh, the sun is starting to come out. Maybe it's not going to rain all day. My daughter has homework club in the afternoons, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at school, so she takes the late bus home. And, well, not really home, the late bus, the closest bus stop for the late bus for us is in the harbor, the harbor. We live in a lake town, so it's in the harbor, and it's probably maybe like 1/8 of a mile from the house. We live on a hill. It's literally at like the bottom of the hill. And my daughter's only 10, so she's learning how to walk home by herself, basically. So yesterday I happened to be out doing errands, so I was in my car anyway, so I stopped and I watched her walk up the hill and stuff to make sure that she was getting home okay, and I told her that I would probably, she has her umbrella with her because we knew it was going to be raining, and I said I would probably be doing that again this afternoon, but if it's going to be nice, then I'll just walk down, which I much prefer because then I can play Pokemon Go on the way down. It's also a Pokestop down there. Is that a silicone product, Brandy? Because it might be the same thing that I'm thinking of that I saw. There. Oh, I really do like that. This paper is so darn cute. Yeah, I think I need something like that. My desk is wood, and I can't just set a hot heat gun on my wood desk and then take off. But some kind of a holster as you're describing, right on the side of my desk would be nice, where I can keep the cord pinned up so it's not within, I'd say maybe anything within a foot from the ground is, and then on the ground, of course, is rabbit eating territory. And in addition to just she eats, you know, expensive cords that we have to pay to replace, it's also dangerous, especially if she's nibbling on something that's plugged in. So, okay, here we go with banners. I think propping at least this one up with foam is the way to go. Let me take that out again. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for lunch. I feel like it's been a long morning. I said I was only going to be filming for an hour, and it's probably been like 5 hours or whatever. I do actually have things I need to do today. Okay, so that one's up on foam. Love it. This one I think I'm going to put up, I'm going to prop up too. This one does have to go through the mail, so I will, and this one doesn't. Sometimes you have to put a non-machinable mail stamp on a letter that has foam embellishments, which is fine. I'd rather pay like the extra 20 cents for the stamp or whatever than have it returned to me and not make it to its destination. Oh, let me write that down, Brandy. I would love to. I think my Instagram info is available on the bottom of my videos too. I love Instagram. I do not have Duncan. Oh, 620. I'm slightly dyslexic, so I read it as 260 is Brandy. Okay. I do not have a blog, a written blog. Oh, get some rest, Marlena. Have a good afternoon. I do not have a written blog. It's time consuming. I consider this YouTube channel to be my vlog, my video weblog, because I talk about crafty stuff and I also talk about my life. If you're serious about like getting known in the professional card making tutorial world, from what I understand is it's really important to have a written blog, and I realize that I'm bypassing that. Oh, I will try to find you on Facebook, Marlena. Let me write that down. Sorry, will I write?